We'll see what happens. Multi-stream is doing good. And I do send them to different servers. So my multi-stream server is a different server than the one for my main headquarters stream for Twitch. So theoretically, this should not be a problem. And the only thing that might come up is if the multi-stream servers are bad, then that would should only affect them. It should not affect my main stream. Alright. Okay, so what is up, Twitch and the internet? We are here for a limited time because I spent a good hour or more troubleshooting ISP / stream servers issues with a lot of dropped frames. So we don't have as much time because of that crap, number one. And then number two, another thing that's an issue is
imagine that.
So far so good. Yeah, I think so. And then the other thing that I want is I don't really feel I can do it justice if we started another project. So I'll probably just tidy up, right? We'll do some tidying up. We'll finish the I'm trying to save some of these videos for later so I can watch them. Okay, let's see here. Where's my YouTube studio? All right, let's show that I'm still here. See, I'm here. No drop frames. Man, I'm just so sick of internet problems. Like, for real, man. So sick of it. Let's change that to live. Okay. Okay, that one's, I think that one's working too. Okay. And then I don't know what happened to my freaking spelling hangman whatever word search game. No, whatever the fuck it's called. It just died, like, you know, like about 2 or 3 streams ago. It just said no more, I'm done. I'm tired, boss. That's what it did to me. Oh great. Why is this not showing me anything? Get the fuck out of here. Really? Pause. That's good. Okay, that's whatever. Dude, it's having me to log in again? Something's up. Mew. What is that? New over. What is your name? New order received. Okay, nice username. Thank you. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. Oh, that was weird. And now it's fine. Now it doesn't ask me. Yo, man, that is really fucking strange. We're having all kinds of fucking problems. Alright, well, welcome to day 4, everybody. Day 4 is not. Day 3 was the major day, so my apologies. But we already pretty much did everything as far as like getting it up and running, all that kind of shit. Alright, what am I looking for? I was about to set something up. The fight of this has scrambled my brain pretty much. So, bear with me, sorry. What? So restream, you've got to be kidding me. So restream, dude, it has to be the HTTPS thing for the fucking work, bro. Wow. Did we drop any frames yet? No, we haven't dropped any frames. Dude, that's great. That's so awesome. Pause this shit. Let's go ahead and copy. Go back to restream. Dude. Paste my Twitch. Perfect. Now let's go over here. Let's do the same thing here. Let's grab that. Let's copy that. Let's go back over here. Let's paste that right there. Update that shit. Okay, so it should count as a flippin' stupid fucking link now. Ugh. Good grief. Oh, my chat paused. Okay, I'll stop. Boo doo doo boo boo. Doo 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 doo. Go back to my whatchamacallit. Okay, stream health looks good. Apparently we're live on all these things. I wish whoever is coding the restream stuff, whoever's doing that, I wish you would stop fucking with things. Like it works, dude. At one time I was able to see, you know, how many viewers on every channel from my dashboard here. And then every now and then you fuck with it, and I don't know what you do. Or if it's not you, then my bad. Then it's YouTube or Rumble or X keep changing their shit, whatever it is. But anyway, I wish they would stop fucking with that stuff so I can monitor things. There we go. Now YouTube's working. As soon as I start ranting, then it like proves me wrong. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just wrong. Never mind. All right. Let's see if our cameras are working. Yeah, kinda. And then we'll turn that off for now. Alright, so let's just tidy it up. Okay? Let's just do that. Fuck it. Let's turn on some lights. So this was the build we did yesterday. We created a Bazite kind of a Steam machine, like a SteamOS like machine, but we used a Fedora based distro or KDE Plasma type Linux that gives us, basically we go right into a desktop and then immediately we can jump into Steam Big Picture mode, kind of like a Windows machine. So it's So it's really good. I like it. It's good if your machine is not, you know, all AMD, or if it's a specific set of AMD hardware that is not covered under most pure-ish SteamOS type builds, you know, like Linux builds. So if you're with that, Bazite worked good for me. A lot of people complain about it, I guess because there's a lot of extra stuff installed with it, and yeah, I can understand that. That's no problem. I will probably experiment with other ones, other distros that are like more svelte, you know, thinner, things like that. So, alright, hopefully we don't miss any messages today. I think we got them all connected, so I mean, I don't think there's anything else I can do. We did drop a few frames, but who knows why? Who the fuck knows? It's not as bad as it was earlier, I'll tell you that. So the lesson for me learned is I'm gonna hopefully be able to resolve this quicker next time. Just by, nope, major drop. Fuck. ISP, you wanna fight me? Gosh damn it. Why the fuck is this happening? Dude, we had another fucking tank. It just tanked. And it was only the Twitch stream, apparently, I think. Let me see. Let me check my analytics on this multi-stream thing. Yeah, I don't know what even that stuff is. Let me refresh. Yeah, I don't see any major dips on the multi-stream stuff. So, I guess if you know, if anyone's out there on a platform other than Twitch, I know is having problems. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. Why my stream drops for them but not the other one? Who the fuck knows? But I still think it's ISP. I don't think it's the streaming services per se. I really don't. But anyway, yeah, feel free to let me know if you notice anything funky. And you know, if you're chatting me that you noticed it, I'll understand where you're at. You know. But if you tell me after the fact, like if you tweet me or whatever, let me know what platform it was that was fucking up. Okay. Let's see if I could maybe tidy up. I did want to set this up as a dual boot. But we'll see. This is the Windows 10 for the dual boot shenanigans right here. All I gotta do is hook it up and then choose which thing I want to boot from, and maybe even, you know, set up like the grub bootloader to just present both options to me so I don't have to keep going to the BIOS for it, because this one's BIOS doesn't have like an F11 option to like bring, like if I hold that on, I have other motherboards where I can bring up the boot option separately from the BIOS without going into BIOS first. This one doesn't have that. So it would be really cool if like the grub thing, If I had that set up, then it's easy because you don't have to be there smashing your fucking keyboard. You just wait for Grub to show up, the bootloader, and then you just choose either Windows or Linux, and away you go. Very easy. The only other thing I was considering is I got some goodies coming to see if we can find out if it's the motherboard or the CPU. So, on the thing that we were trying to re-alive, we're trying to bring this back to the land of the living, but I didn't have any other CPUs that weren't spoken for, and I didn't have any other motherboards that weren't spoken for. So I got a cheap CPU coming that should be compatible. It's 1150. And I got some cheap but supposedly, you know, dependable RAM coming. And we can, I already tested a whole bunch of different RAM. I don't think it's the RAM, you know, but it's good to have some just in case. So we will switch out the CPU and probably the RAM too, just, you know, because who knows, this is probably too heavy for that cheap one to run all of this RAM. So we'll just put like only 2 4GB sticks in there, and then we'll put a i5 in here. That's the cheap CPU I got coming, and I got a cheap cooler as well that we can slap on top of it, just an air cooler, so I don't have to fuck with the liquid one. And then so that should be here in the next couple of days, and we can see if we can bring this baby back to life, because, you know, we might discover it's just the CPU. And to be fair, that would be the easiest thing to replace. To get a actual good CPU from that era is way easier than to get a good motherboard from that era, from the places I'm ordering from. Okay. Alright, what should I do? What should I do? I'm just pretty tilted because of the fucking internet problems. That's got me all kinds of unbalanced right now. Nerdlight. Well, anyway, so if that happens, potentially I'm going to be taking this power supply back out of this one, because I want the better power supply on that motherboard if I can bring it back to life. And then I'll probably put, I'll have to find the other cable, but I'll be putting that 850, that nice Cooler Master 850 that I have. All I need is just to get one more of those cables. Ah, shit. It's always like scary to do that. No, wait, I do have a Seasonic Gold. That raises an interesting conundrum here. So this is a 1200 watt platinum EVGA power supply. I do have a 1250 watt gold rated power supply by Seasonic. It's one of those old X series, the SS ones. Yeah, maybe. Well, let me ruminate on that for a second. I'll be right back. Alright, well, I gotta eat some grub. So, still be right back even though I'm here. That's good. That's damn good. Yo, what up, killer? Hitting them late nights again, huh? What's going on, dude? Thanks for dropping by. What you up to? Cool, man. What you heading off to do? You gonna get some rest? This is not gonna be a fancy stream. I spent most of my time. Well, none of mine are fancy, but I spent most of my time, like I spent like an hour and a half fighting with the internet just to get my stream kind of stable because there was a lot of problems. So all I'm probably gonna do is just like basically close this thing up, you know, hang out for a little bit, and then that would probably be it. So dude, that's why I'm starting so late, bro. It's kind of crazy. So don't worry if you need to get any rest or anything. I don't think I'm gonna be doing anything like changing parts or anything like that. It'd just be putting the panels on pretty much, and eating, of course. Oh, okay. So did you get enough rest? That's good. So you might be up for a little bit. Yeah, sometimes you know, sometimes it doesn't work out, but when I do late night stuff, stay up late, I usually do my best to try to get, you know, 6 to 8 hours of sleep, even if that means sleeping in, because you know, sleep's kind of important, so I do try. It doesn't always work that way, you know. Sometimes other things happen at those hours that you could be getting a little bit more rest. My day? Oh, my day was good. It was just so busy, and then by the time I was starting, it was already kind of, you know, later. And then the ISP, you know, as always, was trying to shit all over my stream. They wouldn't give me my bandwidth that I pay for, damn it. But so I was fighting with them for an hour and a half, and that just like took all of the gusto out of me for wanting to do something more involved. So I kind of resolved myself to the decision that, okay, I'm just gonna tidy up this build, close it up, and we'll call this a stream test, basically. But if it wasn't for that, the day was actually good. Thank you. Yeah, add me to that list, bro. Add me to that list. I'm always hating on the internet here. And to me, it's like, it's not just easily excusable. Like, a lot of people try to use the excuse here in the States that our infrastructure is not as good. Yes, that's true. But that's no excuse for the quality of service that these companies give us. The quality of service they give to us here is nuts. It's just horrible. And then a lot of times you're stuck with only like one choice. You know, sometimes you'll get like two choices, but they're both equally bad. So what the fuck does it matter? All at that point you're doing, if you have two choices, is you're just trying to pick the best price for the best what they claim. Look at this. Look at this. We just died. We just fucking died. Talking to you about the ISP literally just killed my fucking stream. Bro. Crazy, crazy. Let me mute while I chew for a little bit more.
Imagine that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, there's tons of that. There's those kind of stories. That's just how it is. But here again, like my issue with the internet here in the States, obviously, yes, it's just too expensive. It's more, they charge you way more than what it's worth. So that's a big problem here. A lot of places, the infrastructure is not that good, even in big cities. The build out of the actual internet infrastructure physically is not as good as some places. But worse than that, like all that could be managed and handled and dealt with. Seemed okay on YouTube? Huh, thanks, May. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think most of the problems are happening on the Twitch side of the multi-stream. So whatever that specific routing is to get to Twitch servers is getting throttled more by the ISP than the mapping and routing that is for the other, like the YouTube side. So I don't, you know, the ISP is just playing dirty games in my opinion. And again, it's their service that is the worst thing here in the States. Their service is worse than the infrastructure. So whatever shit, like everybody talks shit about the, and cellular too here, but like everybody talks shit about the internet infrastructure here in America, and they talk shit about the infrastructure of cellular here in America. Whatever you think about the infrastructure, the service of these companies is worse, way worse. They get away with murder, corporate and business wise. They get away with everything. They can lock you in like to an area, and they just have a contract and they're locked in, and that is your only choice. No other company is allowed to come in and compete. To me, that's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm not 100% for the government taking over everything, because I think that causes a lot of problems. Yo, hey, you redeemed something. Emote only chat. There we go. Rage it up in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Rage it up. Let me see. Let me see what kind of raging emotes do I even have here. We need some womp in the chat, maybe. Some up spinning out in the chat. Oh, Raging Jones. How about that? Oh, I got another one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Let's go. Do I have any
Imagine
others?
that.
Thought I had some others. Let me see. Uber has some ragey ones. Let me see. My favorite streamer and YouTuber of all time. Let's drop some of his rages. Where's his rage one? Dude, what the fuck? Where is his rage one? Oh, we'll do the unfine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there you go. Drop that shit in there. The Womp is a good one. The Womp's a good one. Hell yeah. Ah, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boom. Hell yeah, let's go. But so yeah, like again, it's their service is the worst thing, and then they lock you in, and then you'll get like 1 or 2 choices, 2 at the most. I don't think I've ever lived in a place so far that I can remember where for landline. Now don't get me wrong, if you want to go cellular or you want to get satellite, yes, of course you have other choices, right? But those things aren't as good as landline yet, right? They're not as good as that. So you know, so when it comes to, you know, whether it's fiber, cable, or some other type of technology, wired is still the best, right? And that's where they lock you in. That's where you have no choices here in the States. You can get like a fucking cellular home network that connects to cell towers, but you're not gonna fucking stream any good quality on that shit. You can get satellite. You can get like Starlink, or I forgot what the other company's name is. You can get those, of course, yeah. But you're not really gonna stream that well on those things without a fuck ton of tweaking. And dude. Anyway. What is this? I think AI is changing Jonesy's language every time he counts. I guess. You're more of a YouTube guy? Yeah. Yeah, that's understandable. I like YouTube as well. Oh, we're dropping again.
Imagine that.
Might be a little blip there. Be right back overlay. That's because I'm not really doing anything. So that is altogether abbreviated in a very slang and not spelled correctly way. 3 words. Be right back. So I usually put that on if I step away, or even if I'm here, but if I'm eating, or if like right now I'm just chatting it up, and I'm not over there at the computer. So I'll be right back to the computer in a moment. I mean, a lot of these companies here, they don't give you what you pay for. They also most of them try to implement a monthly data allowance thing, and then you got to pay for unlimited. Like, you got to, well, I mean, you're paying for the internet anyway, right? But then they want you to pay extra for unlimited. And then even if you pay for unlimited, they still have data caps where they will slow you down if you pass a certain amount, right? And obviously, depending on who your ISP is, perhaps, you know, it could be slightly different. But from the choices that I've seen in the last 5 years, they're all about the same. Like, even, and then see, and YouTube didn't drop. So it was probably, again, whatever the routing, because my multi-stream routes these things separately, right? So like the Twitch servers, all of the Twitch data goes to their servers, right? And it goes this way. And then all of the data that goes to the multi-stream goes this way, and then it splits off wherever the fuck it goes, that way. So I guess we just happen to be dealing with the ISP's retardedness when it comes to that side of it. Which sucks, man. Alright, I'm done ranting, I guess. I guess we will now remove be right back because we will start messing around with the computer. So, there we go. Jaskal, what's up? Dude, I'm so sorry I missed your chat. That time when I was fucking around with the shopping for the other viewer. I had my nose so far into the shopping of those liquid coolers that I totally missed your chat. And then when I saw it, I didn't even realize I was 30 minutes late. I didn't even realize. I started talking to you like you had just chatted in that moment. So, my bad, man. Yes, I do know a little bit about BIOSes, but hopefully you saw the message. Check out, like, of course you can ask me questions anytime you want, don't worry about it. But a good person that puts out some kind of cool videos is Jace2Cents. If you search BIOS next to his name on YouTube, you'll get like 2 or 3 videos that are pretty cool where he talks about things. So welcome on in, Jaskal. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Alright. So this baby did work. I did turn off, oh killer, I turned off literally every secure boot feature that this freaking BIOS had. And I probably could have just only turned off the secure boot one, right? And it would have installed and worked. But in the end, I ended up turning off more than I needed to. So probably on my own off stream, I'll end up turning some of that back on. And there's even ways, I was looking it up, there's even like write-ups where you can go for Bazite, you can turn the secure boot back on. You just got to do a couple command line things or whatever, terminal things on inside of Linux first. And then you can go back to your BIOS and turn it back on. Just troubleshooting? Yeah, man. Lay it on me if you haven't figured it out. Just lay it on me. But yeah, killer. It was, it's like, I was just so impatient. If I would have just been a little more patient, then I would have found the actual thing, you know. And this is like cutting off my head for some reason. Oh. Hey, what can I say? I'm a tall guy, you know. There we go. But it was just my impatience, and so I hit the 2 other things that are not necessary. You don't necessarily have to turn those off. And then the final thing I found, I think it was right about when you were leaving, I found the just actual secure boot only setting. And then I turned that off, and then I restarted, and I did it. But I didn't turn the other things back on. Yeah, Jaskal, let us know. Or, you know, also if you ever have questions like that, you can always join my my Discord. It's over on my Twitch channel though, the about. Having to delete the NVIDIA folder before starting Flight Simulator or it crashes. Huh? Really? Posture check. Oh, I'm trying, man. Okay, so that's a little bit, man. Okay, that one I haven't played Flight Simulator in a long time, so I haven't had to. I know a lot of people have a lot of stuff they're fighting with from time to time with Flight Simulator, especially the newer one. But I haven't really looked into those individual problems. I think Jace2Cents actually has some Flight Simulator videos, though his might just be, you know, some of the rantings and stuff that you've already heard of, you know, since you use it all the time. You probably already know about all of the complaints. You don't want complaints, you probably I just want a solution. But I don't know if he goes over like some of the troubleshooting that he uses to help with some of those problems. Because he's run into some of those problems too. I've seen some of his videos where he's complained. NGX folder, yeah. The only thing I could maybe attempt to tell you about, if you haven't heard of it yet, is something called DDU. Where do you have your high quality channel logo? Which one? My profile picture killer? I don't know where I have it. You can click on, I use it on all my channels, so maybe some channels it's a higher quality than another. So I guess check the YouTube one, the Twitch one, and check, I don't know, but it was made, I had an artist make that for me, so, it even says it on the emote. I don't know. But anyway, so with that, there's a software called DDU, Jaskal, that you can get that might help. Where if you use it, you go into safe mode. You know, you can get like follow like Jay's 2 cents will show you like a step by step if you go to his channel. But you would go into safe mode. You would use DDU, which is Display Driver Uninstaller, is what it stands for. And you would go through and you would uninstall all of the drivers you have for your graphics, right? So personally, I go through and I uninstall all of the Intel, all the AMD, and all of the NVIDIA ones. And then I just install the fresh new ones of whatever I have, you know. So sometimes I'll have like an Intel CPU that has an iGPU, and I'll have an NVIDIA graphics card. And I'll use DDU. I'll go into safe mode. I'll use the DDU to uninstall and delete everything related to, I'll start with Intel, delete all those. And then I'll do the drop down for AMD, delete all those. And then I'll do finally the one that I'm going to reinstall, which is NVIDIA, and I'll delete all those, right? And then I'll restart the system. I make sure my system is unplugged from the internet. I make sure that Wi-Fi is off in my house because I don't want Windows to install anything from the internet, right? And then I'll have already ready to go, I'll have it already downloaded, the newest driver from NVIDIA or whatever driver I'm trying to use, right? You know, sometimes you may not want the new one. Maybe you pick the 2 or 3 drivers before that. So just get the driver you want. Most people will just grab the newest, and that's fine. Have it in your downloads folder or whatever already. Then initiate the process to get into safe mode. Well, you have to have DDU first, you know, but get into safe mode. Open up DDU, uninstall those things, and then after that you can kind of restart back into Windows. Install NVIDIA fresh. Sometimes that fixes these stupid problems like that. Sometimes. But, you know, I have heard that the flight simulator has been having quite a few issues here and there. So, you know what? Like, speaking of that, let me see, dude. Maybe I can, before we end the stream, maybe that's something I can finish up with. Let me go ahead and boot up Windows 10 here. Well, I'm going to try to. I don't know if this system will boot it, but we will try. I'm going to try to get my ducks in a row here. So I'll have to, let's see, I gotta smash myself into the BIOS as quick as possible. And then we can choose to boot from the Windows. Let me get rid of this just in case I have to punch any login stuff in. Going incognito mode, fam. But Killer, you were talking about the profile picture, right? Not the banner, right? Because the banner is like that cave drawing. You're talking specifically about my my Jonesy Dude animated character.
Imagine that.
Yeah, no problem, killer. No problem. But Jasko, I'll show you. I'll try to show you what I'm talking about. If I can get this to get into Windows. So I'm gonna, this one right here, I'm gonna try to get Windows to load on this. If it will, I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So let me see. All right, let me see now. What the hell? How do you get into it? Boot menu. Yeah, there we go. All right. Hopefully Windows doesn't crash on me, because I changed a lot of security features to get Linux to work on this bad boy right here. Right. I changed things that I didn't need to change, and so that's kind of a problem. Now it's saying it's getting it ready for me. I'm gonna unplug Ethernet just so I don't want it to complain at me in this moment. Hold on.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be like a dual boot, so I'll have like Windows 10, maybe 11. Maybe if I have to do a little bit of tweaking to get 11 to install on this. But that, you know, it's just for gaming, so I don't really care if I do stay with Windows 10, even though, you know, they're gonna stop supposedly with the security updates and all that crap. This one won't be much more for gaming anyway, so. And it'd be maybe even mostly retro gaming, so I might not even have like any gaming accounts on it either per se. I might throw a DVD drive on it and just go with like old school like games that I actually have copies of. Yeah, I'll do that some other time. All right, cool. I don't have fucking Chrome on this? Why do I have Chrome apps but not Chrome? What the fuck? That seems kind of sus, man. Alright, well, whatever. We'll use Edge. I don't care. I'm not a snob about it. I just prefer Chrome for simplicity's sake, not because I care, really. The only thing I care is I don't like Firefox. I don't like them. Maybe they'll convince me one day. Alright, DDU. Alright, so here we go. Let me share what I'm doing here. Okay, I lost my camera. Oh, okay, it's back. Where should I send you the file, Insta or Drive link? It's overlays. Oh, maybe Discord? I don't have Instagram. And I don't use Google Drive stuff really. You could send, well, you probably don't have Discord. Some people hate Discord, and I understand. I totally get it. I don't know. We'll talk. Oh, Discord? Okay, so on my Twitch, right? Go to my About page, and there is a picture banner, like a JPEG, that has the word Discord in it. If you click on that, it'll take you to my Discord server. And then from there you can find me, I think. I think that's the easiest way. Because there's probably like several people with the same dude name. Alright, so we don't need that. Alright, so you just search up Jaskal, you search up DDU on your favorite browser. Alright. And then probably just easy, just go ahead and get it from Guru 3D. Though there is like a direct, like the person who developed it, I think he has a direct place. But sometimes I get confused, so I don't want to recommend that. But we could just go with Guru 3D, we'll be fine. So you go ahead in there, and then, you know, takes forever for some reason. Oh no, it doesn't. It's here. All right, so and then you just download it wherever the fuck. You just get like the newest version. Probably just get it from the mirror, I'm guessing. I'll choose, you know, US for me, I guess. Should start any minute now. There it goes. So now that you have that downloaded, right? Then you'll want to go and you'll unzip that file, right? And I might have to, you know, pause the share for a second so that I can get through that. Oh, you're a Discord user for years? Yeah, me too. I've been on Discord shit for quite a while. Let me see here. So when you download Guru 3D's DDU, like I just showed you, Jaskal. Let me see if this is. I don't think it's gonna share anything. Is it? Yeah, it kind of does, so whatever. So hopefully, you know, you kind of know how to extract, you know. You just right click the zipped file, and then in the drop down menu it'll have a place where you can click extract all. And then once you've extracted all, now inside of that is the DDU 7 zip file, right? And what I like to do is, I'll show you, I grab the the plain folder, the one that's unzipped. So I'll show that now. Why is my capture delayed? There we go. So anyway, I unzipped it, and now it gives me this non-zipped folder, and then I copy that, and then I just put it on my C drive. That's how I like to do things, but you can put it on your desktop if you want. And I already have one folder of this, so I'm going to put it in here. And I just paste it there. And then inside of here is the 7-zip, the .exe. So I'm just going to run that. And hopefully we don't share anything we shouldn't. So I just double click it, and then I click right here it says to extract it. So I just click extract. And then we get another folder here called DDU, and then the version. And there's the display driver uninstaller. So I'm not in safe mode, but I'm starting it in case there's any updates. So here we go. It says this is the first time that you've launched it. Yes. Well, this version.
Imagine that.
So just understand that doing this is going to wipe out all your drivers, so you must have your newest NVIDIA driver downloaded. No message option. Why? What do you mean? That's weird. There's no message option. Can you see me as a user? Like you can't like send me a message? Maybe it's a role thing or permission thing. Let's see. So if you want a more comprehensive video that you can rewind and stuff, Jaskal, you know, after you're done hanging out or whatever, or when I end the stream, you could go to Jay's 2 cents, and he has a much more like, oh, step by step by step by step. It's a lot easier to go through that. Alright. So I see you're here. Now I just gotta figure out. So in randomness is general. You can't like touch. You can't send me? Complete disregard. Size of the image you open. It just opens vertical like fuck it. Oh yeah. Windows is oh my god, what a hot mess. Dude, dude, you're gonna get me started fucking ranting about Windows? Yeah, I'll try to figure out which role I need to give you, Killer, so that you can have normal permissions on this. So sorry about the delay on that. But if you're able to just send me a yeah, I got it. Perfect. So yeah. So absolutely always feel free to send me anything like that. Or once I unlock the permissions, you can use the server as well, whichever you prefer. So, alright. Oh no, it went to sleep. Oh no. Oh, no, actually it's doing the thing that I don't want it to do anyway. It's actually installing drivers right now. That's Windows. That's Windows right there, taking over. You see that shit? Like right before our eyes. This is why when you do this, Jaskal, Like, you probably got it. Like you say, you probably could, you know, handle the rest. But just make sure that you get the drivers that you need, download those first, then you get DDU, and make sure, you know, if you're gonna do all of them, if you have an Intel, go ahead and get your your iGPU drivers as well. Get those and your NVIDIA drivers. Just go ahead and get those, then do the DDU thing, right? But before you do DDU uninstall in safe mode, unplug your computer from Ethernet and turn off your Wi-Fi for the 20 minutes that it's going to take to do this. Don't let Windows do this to you, because it will fuck you up every time, bro. All right. So on the general options, usually on the only thing I change here usually is on NVIDIA. I tell it to remove physics as well, because I want that to I want everything to reinstall fresh. So I tell it remove physics. And then on AMD, I tell it remove the driver folder. And remove the AMD audio bus. Now that's me. You could have problems. I wouldn't recommend that. The only thing I would recommend you do is remove physics. Don't do this stuff, because you don't want to lose audio drivers. It's a pain in the ass to get those to come back sometimes. I also want enable safe mode. Yeah, I don't need that. All right, so we'll close that. See, you're not in safe mode. And of course, the malware bites. Fuck off. Clean up without issues. Okay. And the things I do is I actually will go into audio and I'll get rid of Sound Blaster. If you use Sound Blaster, don't do this. I'll clean and do not restart. That's how I do it. Clean, do not restart. And then I go on to the next driver. So GPU, when I do the GPUs, I just start with whatever that is not my, like for your case, it's an NVIDIA. So I'll start with Intel first, right? And I'll do clean, do not restart. When it finishes, it asks me, do I want to exit? I'll say no. And then I go and I do AMD, clean and do not restart, right?
Imagine that.
And then I'll go to NVIDIA and I'll do clean and do not restart, right? Because I wanna mimic putting a new card in. So after I do those, then I shut the computer down, make sure it's unplugged from everything, you know, except power, right, and your monitor. But I don't want any internet on it. I'll turn it back on. And then when Windows starts, log in, go straight to my downloads folder, and I'll install the NVIDIA drivers and or, you know, any iGPU drivers that I have, right? So, but yeah, that might help, Jasco. I don't know, maybe. Oh yeah, Killer, I have. When you get your permissions, you'll see I have more channels than I need. So, yes. The thing is when new people join, I don't automatically give them all the permissions, because imagine some troll comes in, right? Tasteful, what's up? What is up, Tasteful? Welcome, welcome, my guy. Sorry, I was in the middle of doing some DDU junk, because you know Windows loves to fuck you over on your drivers, so DDU can sometimes help, I guess. But anyway, Killer, yeah, I have a lot of channels. It just I gotta add you the role first. So, and I usually do this thing where I add the role later, because I don't just want a random, you know, joining up and then, you know, they're posting shit everywhere. You know what I mean? So, you gonna try it, Jasco? Yeah, yeah. As a backup on your phone, get the Jay's 2 cents DDU video. Find his YouTube video, or someone else. If you like someone else better, that's fine. But I just like Jay's 2 cents step by step, and let that be on your phone, so you can, you know, just in case there's any tidbits here or there that I missed, because I probably missed a couple steps here or there. Yep. And hopefully now your flight simulator will work. Now, in an extreme case, I know you probably have mods, so if it was a clean vanilla version of Flight Simulator, I would recommend reinstalling Flight Simulator as well. But since you're probably got a lot of mods, I don't know if I recommend that, because then you might have to go through a whole painstaking task of getting all that shit back. Oh, you do? Hell yeah, right? We're together on that one, dude. Yeah, I love his channel. Yeah, them boys are good peeps. Open in COM surrogate and you can't delete or move it for some random reason. Yes, tasteful. You know how many times, like, that's how Windows is. Like, just randomly, I'm not using a thumb drive, right? But Windows will allow either itself or some random program to just lock up the thumb drive, and I can't even fucking eject it. And it's like, I'm not even using it. What the fuck? I didn't even go to the File Explorer to pull it up. So yeah, Windows is kind of dumb. Has a lot of problems. And you know, obviously I'm not able to, you know, fix it because I'm a Momo, but I can sure as hell complain about it. That's for sure. All right, so that's the DDU tutorial, and
Imagine that.
I'm so happy that Windows just booted up, even though I fucked with those secure boot things. I can't eject drives all the time. I have to restart, which is insane. For real, that's it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. All right, let me see if I can grab a roll for killer here real quick. Dude, why is my app also giving me a problem? But yeah, the also, like, a file is in use and you can't delete it. Like, that's fucking all the time for the most random shit you would never imagine. Like, Windows has security features that, like, supposedly lock into the kernel and lock into, like, the BIOS firmware to protect you from things running from the BIOS, from like going into the CPU's fucking cache and stuff like that. They have all these features, right? And when you try to turn it on, there's a very high likelihood that there's going to be drivers that it says it's not compatible for you to turn on that extra security layer. Then you go and it's like, okay, fine, I'll get rid of these fucking drivers, right? And you try to uninstall those programs, but when you do, they leave behind the driver. So it's like, okay, fine, I'll search for the fucking driver, right? You go and you find the driver that is the problem, and you try to right-click delete, and it tells you, no, it's in use, you can't delete it. It's like, bro, really? So then sometimes you have to go all the way into safe mode just to delete this shit. It's awful. It's awful. Absolute awful. And it's like, what kind of security feature has Windows got that it can't delete those for you? Like, it can't be that good of a security feature if I have to do all the work just to turn it on. So, I don't know. But I do go through the mundane fucking task, and I do end up trying to turn it on just for peace of mind. So I don't know. Yes, yes, exactly, killer. Yeah, yeah. It's easy to put that shit on there, but it's a difficult task to take it off. Yeah, Windows is getting on all of our nerves, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so I used to dabble with Linux a lot more, and because of these last, like, probably couple weeks and streams where I was, like, playing around with, like, Linux gaming stuff, I'm probably going to start, like, using it a little bit more. Now, to be fair and honest, I don't think I'm going to give up Windows just yet. Like, it would take me quite the learning curve. Even though I've used it and I know how to Google search things, which is a big help, I think I would probably still have so much growing pains, especially for the stream setup. But as far as gaming, I'm probably going to switch gaming builds over to Linux. Except for, you know, I'll have like one main gaming rig that will still have Windows. You know, just for like, you know, there's still a bunch of games that won't run on Linux for whatever reason. You know, Battlefield 6 needs all that secure boot bullshit. So, you know, it's a pain in the ass. Lunduke Journal, you know? Linux is a broken OS literally run by Antifa? Yeah, probably. The thing is, well, the thing with Linux, that's some of Linux is run that way, right? There's so many distros. The reason I like Linux is because you can find a distro that is good for you or in general, right? You always have an option, right? So I love Linux for the variety of that, and you can find a ton of people that customize that shit and, you know, do a fairly good job. Especially for just gaming. If you're just gonna slap together a gaming rig, and as long as the games that you're playing and liking run on Linux, a Linux distro, just, you know, research the people that make it, you know, that way you don't maybe you don't want to support certain you know, crazy people or whatever. That's fine. You can find a distro that will run your games, and you can do it free, and then you can still have your main Windows rig be like, I don't know, maybe your editor, your streaming thing, your work computer, whatever, right? And then you can have the best of both worlds. It's not probably. Gnome said they are blah blah blah. It's literally all of Linux. There's maybe only one distro that isn't fully. Yeah, I mean, but to be fair, you know, what is Windows? If Windows doesn't fall under the same category as that, then I don't know, man. Windows is 100% the same way, 100%. The only difference, obviously, is Windows is big corporate. That is doing those things, versus Linux is smaller groups doing those things. So I guess with the big corporation one, you still have a little profitability style like voting you can do. Like if you don't like certain things, you can hurt the corporation with your wallet voting, you know what I mean? Whereas with these other groups, if they're playing those fucked up games, yeah, you're kind of screwed, you know what I mean? You can't really do anything that would sway them because they're not doing it really for money. So right, exactly, Tasteful, exactly. Yeah, I do. I check out Lunduke every now and then. I do, yeah. Yeah. Because there's been a lot of reporting about that. I didn't remember which ones because it's like I don't remember the last time I was like looking into it, but I was looking into the ones that were they were basically like they banned him, this one guy, they banned him from it over just the most ridiculous reasons, dude. Ridiculous. So yeah, absolutely bullshit. So, but this one is not GNOME, so, you know, at least I got that right. This one is Windows 10 and Fedora, right? Which I know it's still bullshit. I understand. But at least it's not GNOME. Okay. Most softwares are good for Linux, but still Windows have advantage. That's true, Killer. Yeah. Windows is like for absolute 100% ease of operation, as long as something doesn't go wrong. A lot of problems Windows is causing with their updates recently. When those things go wrong, you're in a shitload of trouble. But as long as it's just like, you know, for most people, yeah, Windows is so fucking easy. You know, that's why I use it for my streaming. That's why I use it for my main gaming. But I don't want to have to keep paying Microsoft or even a key website. I don't want to have to keep paying. I got so many Windows fucking things here. What I'm gonna do another one. So that's why I throw the Linux on this, and I game like that. You know, and if I find out some bad shit about the Bazite people, dude, I'll jump. I don't care. I'll jump over to, I don't know, fucking, you know, instead of Ubuntu, maybe it's Jubuntu or some shit. I'll jump. I don't care. Degrade from Windows 11 to 10, and for some reason I can't play GTA. No, are you kidding me? Huh. Man, I wonder if, are you talking about the RP mods that you put onto the GTA? Yeah, Rockstar is being really fishy and weird with some of the mod stuff. And then that between Microsoft not supporting Windows 10 anymore, there might be some kind of, you know, stupid little hiccup, and then it just causes problems. Though after the Switch, Killer, maybe you should try that DDU thing. Yeah, the roleplay servers. Yeah. Maybe you should try that DDU thing on your system since you went from 11 back to 10, and then reinstall your you know, whichever, you know, GPU you have. Reinstall your drivers fresh that way, because sometimes it's something like that and it's like giving you a hiccup. Or it could be the roleplay servers are like marking you as like a bot or something weird, and they're not letting you on the servers for some reason. I mean, it could be any number of things. Or it could be like Rockstar's launcher is installing on the Windows 10 in a weird way, and it's getting in the way of you connecting to those servers. I don't know. Red Hat. Yeah. I'm pretty much screwed, man. Yeah. I think the only choice is to go back to like playing those, you know, those little like water games where you press the things and it like shoots the little rings up and down. I think that's our only choice, man. We're gonna have to go back to that. Or we're gonna have to start making our own shit. We need somebody to make our own. I've been wanting Jonathan Blow to make an operating system for forever. He's already made and continuing to develop his own programming language called Jai. And if you don't know, Jonathan Blow is the one who he made the game Braid, which was real famous, and another one that was fairly famous was The Witness. And I guess he's working on another puzzle game. But Jonathan Blow is very outspoken with a lot of this bullshit that you're talking about, Tasteful, in the industry, especially in the programming industry, programming languages. He's very outspoken with like Windows being bullshit. He hates Linux. But, you know, here's what it is. Fedora was exposed for anti... You can't escape in Linux, save for 1 or 2. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're screwed, man. Again, until somebody steps up and makes something. You know what I mean? You know. Is it too much to ask for my ISP to give me some fucking bandwidth? Come on, bro. What the hell? Alright, anyway. Yeah, until someone steps up, like someone who, you know, like a Jonathan Blow. Again, look him up if you want to hear some interesting takes. You know, and he's not really hard on either side. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's a hardcore anti persona. But he, you know, he's got a good I think he'd be like, you know, a good person to ambassador this shit and like maybe talk some sense into the industry if they would listen, but they won't because they have all the power and we have none. So, personal message. All right, Killer. Carnival small games. Yes, exactly. Did everything. And some reason I can't download Windows 11 update again. Crazy shit is happening right now. Yeah, the Windows 11, especially as they've gotten more updates to it, has gotten more finicky towards the secure boot thing. You used to be able to get away in some earlier versions of Windows 11. Now, the very first versions of Windows 11 were very strict as well. And then they released some patches that allowed a little bit more leniency toward the secure boot part of a BIOS on a motherboard. And so, for example, this 270H would not install the first iteration of Windows 11. But I was able to install, once they unlocked some leniency in the middle of Windows 11's life to this point. So this is like a year ago or more. Then I was able to install Windows 11 no problem. But now they've reverted and they've made it stricter again. And so it could be related to that. Check your BIOS's updates for your motherboard, because there might be an update you can apply that would make it more compatible with the newer Windows 11 stuff that's going on, Killer. Maybe. Maybe. Lady Bird, let's go. Fashion Goose, we need Pro. Basically illegal. Yeah, you're talking some. You're gonna get some deep shit come after you, Tasteful. Be careful, homie. But you can't watch in my country all day long. Yeah, that's true. You don't want to get banned, so don't say it. But I said it. The organized minority always beats the disorganized. Yeah, it's basically who's the loudest, Tasteful. That's pretty much the thing. Alright, Killer, I got your message. Oh, dude, those are nice. Holy shit, bro. Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, I like those. Very cool, man. Sweet. Those are nice, dude. Very cool, man. I'm gonna give you some Uber claps. Thanks, dude. Alright, there we go. So, alright. There's a lot of messages here. As a source on OBS? Yeah, that's how I have that other one. That one just happened to be from one of those free ones from for my membership. What's it called? But anyway, yeah. Well, I mean, Jonathan Below, he's not in the middle, dude. Just look him up if you're curious about that kind of stuff. If you like Lunduk, I think you'll like Jonathan Blow as well. You know, I'm just trying to be what do you call it? I'm trying to be neutral in my assessment of him, I guess. Right now, I have a lot of codes in my system. Don't want it to get corrupt or missing. Yeah. The BIOS updates can be nerve-wracking, so yeah. Just keep Googling it, dude. Somebody will have the same thing you're going through, Killer, and then you'll be able to follow, you know, someone else will... let someone else be the guinea pig. They'll figure out what to do, and then you can just come in and mop up all the good details without messing your shit up. Oh, man. But Tasteful, I agree, man. I agree, dude. Well, what the fuck? What the hell? What do we do, my guy? Let me see. So I'm gonna start putting this together. Well, you know, such as it is, I guess. however that may be. So I need the side panels. Here we go. But yeah, to me it's just a matter of like I don't believe in all this bullshit that is going on in modern stuff. It's just harrowing that we have people that are that moronic, that think that way, and we can't just, you know, we can't just have like, okay, let's just hire the best person. I don't give a fuck what they look like, you know. I just want the best person, you know, and you know, I need someone local as well. I don't, you know, and you know, it depends on the job, I guess, but you know, most jobs that I can imagine hiring for, I'd want someone local, you know what I mean? Someone that can come in physically to the office and all that kind of stuff. So why can't I just hire the best person? Why do I need quotas and you gotta have a certain number of this or that? Why do I need that? I don't fucking need that, bro. So, but I guess it is what it is. I wonder if virtual machines have got... I haven't played around with... back to the stuff you're dealing with, Killer. I haven't played with virtual machine gaming in quite a while. I remember back in the day, I actually used virtual machines to play games, but... You know, it... Just the nature of a virtual machine, you're always going to have less performance on that than the native OS. But they may be really good now, dude. Maybe you can set up a virtual machine to play your game, you know, and inside of that virtual machine you can try all kinds of crazy tweaks and all kinds of stuff, and it won't mess with your main OS where you have all your, you know, all your work that you're doing, your workflow, all your codes and everything else. Perhaps. Yeah, in person, it just, to me, I prefer that. Now, don't get me wrong, some people work really good remote, and that's fine. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying I shouldn't have to get remote work, you know, just for whatever, you know, because a lot of places are getting that remote work because they can't do these certain quotas. And, you know, that's kind of a fucked up deal to deal with, you know? Because, you know, I don't hate on remote working. If it works fine, it works fine, you know, go for it. I just don't like the forced nature of that kind of shit. And since I'm in the IT industry, that shit is rampant. I'm sure there's industries that are even worse than the IT one, but it's hard to think of any right now. All right, so check out the front of this thing. It looks like a robot face, and I'm gonna put the front on it, but it's still gonna look that way. I'll show you in a minute once we get this hooked up here. There we go. Look at that. It's like a face, dude. It's such a cute little robot. There's the case. I gotta put the top on it though. But yeah, I gotta give it the tasteful. You tell it like it is, my dude. Cheers to you. Now, tasteful. If something got hit, it wasn't me. It's just that automatic system. Sorry. I work 520 miles away from my office. Yeah. See, I mean, if it works for you and for the company you're at, you know, that's fine. Again, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, for me in my industry with IT, I prefer somebody that can like go over to the user's desk and check the plugs, the cables, and this and that, because a lot of times I don't want to be talking to a user that is sketchy around electrical equipment, doesn't know what they're doing, and now I'm telling them to like jerk wires and plugs and shit like that. I don't really want to mess with that. I just want somebody that can go there and like look at it and say, oh, here you go, ma'am. This is what we were talking about. I'll go ahead and plug that in for you, you know. But, you know, again, that's kind of a niche thing. Not all industries would need that. If you're like doing something else, like perhaps like, for example, talking about, you know, YouTubing and Twitching, like an editor, you don't necessarily need them to be physically near you, right? Especially if your internet's good enough. You can have all the editing done, you know, far away. And then they just, you know, you can either give them editing privileges where they can upload it for you after it's edited, which I don't believe in that. I never do that. I have them, no, you send me that video and I'll upload it because I'm too scared of things getting hacked. But yeah, I mean, you can totally do those type of things, depending on the field. But in my field, they use it way too much. The call center thing is overdone in IT, in my opinion. Way overdone. Alright, I'm going to shut this baby down. Well, actually, I'm going to put it in the... I think I'll put it over in the... let me try to get it over in the Bazite. Let me get this going. Oh great, Windows is taking its sweet time restarting.
Imagine that.
I told it not to do the update that it downloaded, so I think it's mad at me and it's taking forever to restart. Yeah, my company have their own server. Download files, edit, do my part, re-upload, further. Another guy will do work on the same slide. Yeah, so stuff like that, absolutely. That's when it makes sense. 100%, no problem. I got it. Yay, now I'm in here. Let me see here. I think I want Fedora first. Okay, it's whatever. And the synthwave stuff has got me, like kind of energized, dude. I'm going crazy with all the energy. Though we've been dropping a lot of frames today. My apologies to any of you out there. If you thought one of my answers was weird, or you thought, oh, he didn't answer my question or respond to me, I'm dropping a lot of frames today. It probably skipped my answer to you. So, you know, absolutely feel free to ask the question or chat me again. Or mention whatever it is you were talking about. You can do it again, you know what I mean? Because today is a shit show on the ISP side. Let me see, how much slack do we have here? I think we got enough. I can move this a little bit here. There. There. All better. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool, man?
Imagine that.
That's pretty fucking cool. I think that looks cool as shit. With those green light lit up fans. Government personal salaries and all? Oh, I don't know. What happened with the salaries? Hold on 1 second. Let me put this stuff out of here, this leftover food. I'm still here. Stepped down the hall. Alright, so I don't need this anymore. Oh, the shutdown? Oh, well, a lot of people don't understand what the government shutdown is, right? So, don't take offense. You know, it's, you know, I don't know every other country's government and how it works. So, I think most people can be forgiven not to know American government. A lot of us here don't understand how American government works, right? The president doesn't shut down the government, right? The people that are shutting it down is Congress. So Congress are the elected people of the legislature, and they have to approve the budgets for lots of things. But what these politicians do, my guy, is they put in a fuck ton of other shit inside of that budget and that bill. And so you have, you know, most of the time it's two sides, but sometimes there's a lot of different sides. You know, it might be 3, 4, 5 different sides, and they all want certain things in and they want certain other things taken out, right? They're not going to agree on something until they get what they want. And then the other side is like, okay, well, we're not going to agree until we get what we want. So it has nothing to do, like, the president has like maybe 10% to do with the government shutdown, like at most. It's always Congress, and this happens all the time, but the media is only going to focus on it when it helps their narrative, right? So all the other times the government is, it's almost yearly they have this budget thing. And there are certain years that they have bigger budget things, right? And at least every 2 years, there's a government shutdown. Always. And it doesn't matter who's president, bro. But they're going to tell you now because they want you to hate things a certain way. So they're going to make a big fuss about it. The government's not even shut down anymore. It's like, they do this every time. Everybody always gets in a panic. Oh my God, it's a shutdown. Oh my God, nobody's getting paid. Bro, they're all going to get paid. All of them get paid. Okay? There might be a delay on the check. There might be a delay to get your vacation approved. All that stuff might happen to the people that are working there. And then, you know, maybe certain services are delayed. Whatever, right? But it always starts back up every fucking time. If it doesn't, then the world will just collapse and we'll all fucking, you know, be living like Fallout and it won't matter. So to me, it's just, it's bullshit. Comes in dense kind of budget build problem. Yeah, that's the Congress. Yeah. Yeah. It's like about, I'd say 60 to 75%. And sometimes it's 100% just the Congress that causes these shutdowns, right? But guess what? They get fucking paid. they get paid. Think about that for a second, right? So while they're telling you who the bad guy is, I would be like, I don't trust. If a news source tells me who to hate, automatically I'm done watching that news source. Automatically. Because the only people that should be expressing those kind of opinions should be independent journalists, like people that are on YouTube. But when CNN, Fox, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, when they tell me who I'm supposed to like, I'm checking out. I'm not listening to them fools ever. And you know, it'd be the same thing for BBC over in Europe. They're constantly telling you who you should be for. And it's like, no. You need to report the news. You need to tell me what the facts are of what's happening and leave your stupid opinion out of it. And then let me make my opinion. So, but anyway, that's another rant. You know, Jones can rant on that too, but always news channel, kind of back channel, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's always the possibility that there is stuff like that. There's finances and stuff that move behind the scenes. But the way I look at it is, yes, that's true, Killer. I'm not arguing no to that. But the way I look at it is I don't care if there is or there isn't any of that, right? To me, journalism should be reporting the facts. If you want to be opinion-based reporting, then you need to start a blog. You need to like start your own YouTube channel. You need to like, these are the ways you do that. But if you want to be an actual journalist, you got to be hitting it with the facts. You got to tell the people what's going on, you know, telling them how long it's lasted, you know, telling them, you know, yeah, you can put out some possible projections about what you think might happen and blah, 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 you know, stuff like that. But like just coming in there, like calling people like hateful things, you know what I mean? Dude, that has no place in journalism, and that's what is rampant right now. And they always go in one fucking direction, and we all know what direction they go in, and they spew all this hate, and it's for what? For no reason. No reason. I just want some facts. You know what I mean? Like, if they want to, they should start up a YouTube channel like this if they want to rant and rave about something, and then they'd probably get a lot of views. But the problem is they're doing that on what's supposed to be a news channel. And a lot of people don't want to watch that shit no more, man. That's for sure. A lot of people don't want to see that. And then, you know, like you said, it could be, you know, financial stuff behind the scenes. You know, there could be other governments. You know, we're all doing it to each other. There could be, you know, like advertisers, you know, they only want their money on certain things, you know, so they're probably throwing some money in there. There's all kinds of stuff that could be flowing around, and I believe that it does happen. But it don't matter to me. Like, I don't care. You could have the squeakiest, clean fucking financial stuff in the background. But if the people up front are still just giving a bunch of opinionated bullshit, that's not news. That's opinions. That's different. And so it should be categorized as something other than news. And they don't even want to explain like what's going on with the government shutdown. Again, it is these politicians that, you know, each side wants their own things, you know, and they're trying to muscle each other around, and eventually, you know, like they either come to a compromise or like one side gets the better of the other side, and then, you know, then the shit starts right back up and it's fine. But the reason they did that was because they were, you know, wanting to fight over the little details of this bullshit. Hey, that's a good point, Killer. Yeah. I bet stuff like that happens too. That's a good point. Yeah. You know, and they, you know, behind the scenes, that's just all a game to them. Yup. And then them stocks. Yep. Insider information, man. Insiders helping insiders. There's a Pogo song that puts together a bunch of Trump speeches, and it has all that stuff in there. Yeah, insiders helping insiders. Hell yeah. Yeah, and then when you look at like the entire like social political viewpoint of like the entire Earth, dude, it's very weird. It could be creepy too. And you know, I don't know a lot about it, but every time I look at it, it does look pretty fucking creepy and scary. You know, it's almost like there's an organism, like a whole organism that is that. You know, and it has other organisms that are fighting it, or it has things inside of it that's fighting it. It's a very strange thing. So. But anyway, that's, you know, a bunch of off topic, obviously, for the Jonesy Dude gaming and tech channel. Not that I mind. I don't mind at all. But, you know, just in case people are lurking, they're like, what the fuck channel did I end up on? You know, what the hell? I thought he was building a computer, and now he's over here talking about conspiracy geopolitics. That's because I'm not an expert of any of these things, so I talk a little bit about everything, but not a lot about one thing. But yeah, cheers, man. To Killer and Tasteful for the conversations. Thanks, Jaskell, for hanging out. Hope that shit works for you, Jaskell, if you're still lurking out there. Hopefully the DDU thing cleans up the problems with Flight Simulator. So again, you might have to dig deeper than that, obviously. But I think unfortunately for me, it's just I haven't messed around. I haven't fucked around with Flight Simulator, except for, you know, I've played it, is all I can say. You know, I've played Flight Simulator. Turns out, so I research from space shit to human history and all. Dude, I'm similar, Killer. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, it is not good for me to have an Android phone that has the Google feed. That is not good for me because, well, it's good and bad. It's good because I'm always reading about something new, always. And then, you know, it tries to pattern things to certain things or whatever. But it's bad because it's just like, I'm the type like that, you know, all those memes where it's like it's 3 a.m. and I started looking at like diet plans because I want to start a diet tomorrow. But at 3 a.m. I'm like looking at, you know, the extinction of some random turtle species or some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, how the fuck did I end up down here? So I'm kind of the same way, dude. But it's fun to be that way, I think. It can get annoying because sometimes it can affect, like, maybe when you gotta like sit still and just do one thing. Sometimes that can kind of get a little bit difficult. But it's actually, I think it's fun and entertaining to be a little bit interested in lots of different things, because, you know, if one thing has no news, like PC tech, like if there's no news, I can always jump to some other random thing and have my curiosity filled. So dude, it looks pretty good with the what is this? This you know, this whatever. This metal screen thing. You know what I mean? It's not glass, but you can still see the lights and stuff, so it still looks pretty good. And then the other thing I can do is, you know, stand this up. This can also be standing on its side. I'm not sure. I might unplug it. I'm not gonna do it while it's plugged in and on, because if I do and then it unplugs, then I don't know, I might break something. Oh man. good for knowledge, but it's like to know everything. Yeah, you get hungry for it. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You become like a Galactus of information, or no, you become like Brainiac. You know, you just want to like freaking absorb, millions of bits of data. I will take all of it. Probably have dark so. Oh yeah, I got those. Yeah, I'm a late night researcher. On the phone. That is not good for your eyes and your and then not having the sleep. Yeah, you get the dark circles. Yeah. No, same. Yeah, I actually use like I was talking before when we had the other viewer. I actually use melatonin. That helps me a lot. It cuts down on the time that I'm doom scrolling or whatever the fuck they call it. But it's not for everybody. Like for one, some people it doesn't even work on, right? Melatonin. And for two, even though, you're going to read the research and it says it's non-habit forming, anything that helps you sleep, it can be habit forming. It may not be physically like addictive or whatever, but it's helping you sleep. And if you get used to something like that every night, like me, then it becomes like, oh, well, I kind of need it, right? So I don't recommend it for everybody, but maybe like your friend, the Withania, maybe that will work for you as well in the evenings. When you get that itch to start fucking researching, man, take you some Withania or something. I don't know. Well, I guess that one's mostly for anxiousness, so that probably wouldn't work. I'm telling you what, the melatonin, thank God, it actually works on me. Like that shit. Like I've dropped the phone on my face. That's how good it works on me. And I don't take a lot. I take a very tiny dose of that shit. Very small dose. Check with your doctor. I'm not a physician. But anyway.
Imagine that.
Use it sometimes. My age, I'm just 20, will be 21 in February. Yeah. Generally, they don't recommend it unless you're, yeah, absolutely. Generally, they don't recommend it until you're like boomer age. Or even more. Like even boomer age, not necessarily. They want, well, I guess it depends on what boomer we're talking about. The actual original boomers are quite old. They're like great grandparents. But the meme-ified version of what a boomer is, like even people like me, that's a boomer, they don't recommend it for, They want grandparents, which is fair. That's fine. Totally fair. But I will share this tidbit in case you haven't heard this before. About melatonin. Again, it's good you keep up with your doctor, man. That's the right way to do it. But melatonin is one of those weird things that for some people, less works better, right? Because when I was first needing to use it a long time ago, I first started trying it out because I was having some insomnia and things like that, difficulties. I was taking a lot sometimes, like higher doses, I'd look up the safety on it and all that. But I was taking what would be considered higher doses in those ranges, and it wasn't working for me. And then I don't know what happened or why, but one day I think I might have got like a low dose version of it, or like a bottle that the pills were very low dose. And I took those and it knocked me the fuck out. Like so good. I slept so good on that shit. And then I figured out, like for me specifically, if I take smaller doses, like sometimes just 1 milligram or less, for me, it works better than if I'm taking 3 milligram, 5 milligram, some of those higher doses, right? And then other people, obviously, they might need to go higher or whatever. But I think for some people, low doses actually hits better when it comes to the melatonin. So, you know, just something to either try yourself or, you know, talk to your doctor or whatever. Like look into that. Maybe if you go half the dose you're trying, it's weird. I'm telling you, it's so weird, but that worked for me. Half the dose of what I was trying actually worked better. Crazy. I know, but it did. So yeah, so I just want to show, there we go, that we have a dual boot system. So I got Windows 10, which one of these days I'll probably, I do have an external TPM in case the one that's built into this motherboard isn't gelling with the Windows 11. I do have an external one I can hook up, and I think that one will work for Windows 11. So I may update it just for peace of mind, security updates. But again, I'm not going to really use this. This isn't going to be for office or work. It's not going to be for anything personal. It would just be tinkering and gaming with. So Windows 10 will be fine for that. And then, you know, I'm kind of tech savvy, which helps. So if you're like out there worried about Windows 10, as long as you look into it, you can find ways of using it and not being harmed too much by the support ending. But if you don't want to do, you know, the homework and research and things like that, then yeah, you're better off updating to 11 probably, just for the peace of mind and, you know, kind of cover your back. But yeah, that's probably going to be it. We tidied up a little. Got a little bit longer out of the stream than I thought I would. So that's good, I guess. Even though we still had dropped frames, I don't know what it is. Today, the ISP hated me. The last stream, it ran beautifully. Beautifully. This stream, yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't know, man. So I guess yeah, we'll just wind things down. If you're still, if any of the visitors are still out there, feel free to chat it up before I get going. If not, if you're just too tired and you just want to lurk, that's fine too. Check if ISP Office have your exercise. Yeah. Yeah. At least the drop frame slowed down. Yeah, that's true, May. Absolutely. Thanks for letting me know you're still out there. Appreciate it, May. Thank you for hanging out. But yeah, yeah, Killer's right. It's like some, either like an ex or like you know, some friend from the past that you like, you know, you did something you didn't even know you did wrong to, but they're just like got it out against you, dude. You know? I don't know, man. Dude, did Tasteful leave? Damn it, Tasteful, are you gambling again? Damn it, dude. What the fuck, bro? Tasteful making all the money out there with that gambling, dude. I keep telling myself I want to try one of those apps one day just for fun. The ones where you can do like the sports stuff. But every time it's just, I don't know. I know they give you sometimes on your first one, I could just get, you know, whatever they give me free and I could just play with that. But it just feels like I can't do anything unless I kind of research it. Like that's part of my problem. Is it's difficult for me, like even with games sometimes I've really had to try hard to play new games because I don't feel like playing it unless I look into it, find out how to play it and all this kind of crap. So Hacker pissed from you. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I pissed somebody off in my chat one time, and they're just like DDoSing my fucking internet connection. It's all banned right now. I freaking made about 1900. Now I can't. Really? Wow. How long ago did they ban it? That's crazy, dude. You made 1900. Damn, good job, man. What sports did you usually mess around with? Did you mess with any fighting stuff? Tasteful does a lot, and I like MMA and UFC stuff myself personally. And that's probably what I will do. If I play around with it, I'll probably mess with like fighting ones for the sports stuff. Do sports bets, not rigged like cards in normal games. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes there's still like, there's that controversy right now that some of the rigging is going on. Because, don't get me wrong, they still will rig. They'll rig anything. It could be like a freaking, if it was a fight to the death, if there was enough of those fights and there was enough money in it, somebody would rig it. You know what I mean? So it still happens, but I think you're right. Maybe it happens less in the combat stuff. Because it is a lot more difficult to fake in those situations. And so the ones that do get rigged, in my opinion, are the ones that are willing to not fake it. They're willing to just let the other guy pummel them. You know what I mean? For real. So that, there's not a lot of guys that are willing to let somebody else just beat the shit out of them with not even trying. That's a rare thing to find. But there are guys out there that will take big money to, miss the ball. You know what I mean? Like in soccer or football, however you call it, right? Or like basketball, to miss a shot. That's easy to do that. There's people willing to do that because it's easy. But it's not easy to just like, let somebody break your nose or something. That's a fucking another thing. Basketball, cool. Oh, you used, okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah. There's actual equations and algorithms you can use. Yep, with the basketball. And especially I don't know about European basketball, but American basketball, they play so many games. There's so much information that you can use to calculate things. A lot better than like American football. They don't, like, comparatively, they don't play as many games. And so every season there's a lot less information to go by for those type of things. And then with fight sports, those are, a lot of times those guys don't fight but like maybe once a year and shit. Some of them, some of the active ones will pull in some more. But that can, make it difficult to do research, even if you ask ChatGPT to give you a helping hand. And see, my Stream Elements chat died. I don't know why. So you make a true set calculation on tennis guys. If they are long enough, you can calculate ground player improvement over matches. Yeah, tennis players play a ton of matches. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense, Killer. Yeah, because they fucking play a lot of games and matches. Holy shit. Yeah. And that's how that stuff works. I haven't done it personally, but I know the gist of it. Like, the more info you have, the better. To an extent, obviously. As long as it's relevant, relevant matches and stuff. Uh-oh. I'm getting some alerts here. Yeah. Oh shit, let me go ahead and give you those rolls on. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, Killer, but I'm gonna give you the roles for that Discord. That way at least you know you have the. What the fuck? I think I'm in the wrong part here. There we go. That way if you want to, you can go in there and do whatever. Let's see. I usually use the desktop one, so I'm a little slower here. Edit roles. Here we go. Okay. Any minute now, I'll have you up and running. Dude, why am I so much slower on the mobile one? There it is. Dudes and dudettes. There you go. Alright. And I'm always breaking my Discord stuff, so, you know, obviously it's possible it could be borked from time to time, but alright, you should be able to see the how do I close this shit? Oh, there it is. You should be able to see the different whatever you call them, sub channels or whatever. And if you can see them all, you'll see I have way too many probably. I could probably consolidate it a little bit, but that's too much work. I ain't gonna fucking deal with that. You can organize the Discord? Yeah. Yeah, I know how to set it up. I've just been lazy. And I only have, what is it, like, I think I have less than 20 people on there. So it doesn't really, like, if it starts picking up, I'll probably throw some organization on it. Give it a little bit more options or whatever. Oh wait, I got somebody else chatting me here. Dude, another thing on Discord, the amount of fucking scammers and bots that friend you. Like, I even have some that pretend to be like, you know, fairly well-known streamers and shit. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes I don't know the streamer, but like when people contact me on Discord, I always Google the fucking name and the profile picture. And then if it's like some fucking like popular streamer, it's like, bro, what are you trying to pull here? So usually what I do is I just be friends with them, man. You know? You know, if they're malicious, I'll still report them. But then I just stay friends, you know? I'll be like, yo, bro, yeah, man, I've been busy, blah, blah, blah. Hope you're doing good. Oh my gosh, man. But to see them, like, trying to fucking, like, get me is just absolutely insane.
Imagine that.
Oh, that's cool. Like this? What? Let me see. Oh, I'm trying to look at it, but the stupid phone. What the fuck? Why can't I zoom in? Oh, okay, here we go. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, yeah, stuff like that. Exactly, Killer. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. And you're just like fucking with them? Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I haven't gotten super good at like trolling them back necessarily. I mean, it's still, in a way, it's a troll to, hold on, let me respond you. in a way it is trolling by just being friends with them, right? And just like doing small talk or whatever. But yeah, I like watching. There's a streamer and YouTuber. His name is Kit Boga. You should check him out. He does the scammers he's dealing with are mostly like those, the Google gift card type scammers and tech support scammers. Those types. But still, it's the same concept, and he just like wastes their time. He has like different personas that he acts out. Like one, he pretends to be like an old lady, like a grandma. Um, and like he's just, dude, he has some of the funniest videos of these scammers just having meltdowns, absolute meltdowns, and he's trolling them. It's like none of it's real, but he presents it so believably. He even uses like virtual machines so that they can remote in and all this kind of shit, and like they think they're on like this grandmother's computer and they're going through her files and shit. It's so good. Trolling scammers is my best hobby. Hey, good for you, man. Yeah, troll away, because to me, if scammers were just practical jokers, I don't think I'd mind. That's fine. But the typical scammer nowadays, they're literally trying to steal from you. So I have no problem with anybody trolling them at all. You got Telegram message side hustle where they gave money for small reviews, then they tell you to invest money for more return. I literally made different account and got $100 with 3 accounts. Okay, that's hardcore. That's good. There's a channel called Scammer Payback. They also do good. Hey, I think I've seen them. They have it on YouTube. I think I've seen Scammer Payback. I think so. Yeah. I just ended up watching Kit Boga a lot because he does a lot of live streams. And so that was new to me. I had seen, just off and on, I watched stuff like maybe it was those groups, Scammer Payback, things like that. Off and on, I probably did that. Yo, Crimson, what is up? Thanks for dropping by. Love my Cooler Master FX, but honestly, that case is very outdated these days. Hey, absolutely, man. You're right. There's a ton of shit on it that I don't like, but it's also kind of cute for an oversized, like, if you imagined Xbox, right? But like, it put on a lot of weight, right? It's kind of cute in that way. And this one, I like it because I can put green ring LED fans up here, and it kind of looks like a face, like a robot face. And then maybe if I can get like a LED strip down here or something, it would be like a robot kind of. So, but yeah, this was just the thing that I put some leftover parts in, Crimson, and we over the last day or two streams, I just put like a Linux OS on it, and then I have a Windows SSD in there as well, so it's kind of like a dual boot just for gaming. Nothing serious for work or whatever, or even for streaming or anything like that, but something I can maybe give to one of the kiddos or whatever, and they can game on it. It was cool for its time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of times also, I'll turn it sideways. Hopefully I don't unplug it, but I'll even stand it up, like sideways. And as long as it's like against the wall, let me get in camera here. As long as you have it like against the wall so you can't see the underside that's standing like this, it actually doesn't look too bad like that, to be fair. Let me see here. Ooh. But sometimes I'll put like these cushions. Like one time I had it reversed, so I had these cushions on this side so I can put it the other way. But you can even put it like this side. It's not too bad. So looks all right like that. So Oh, oh, don't unplug. But yeah. But yeah, I do a lot of weird builds anyway. So, like I do open air case stuff like this one. This is my streaming. This is what I'm streaming with right now. And that's just, open air cases are cool because they're easy. Like, well, the hardest part about some of these open air cases is putting them together, because a lot of times they come like in pieces and you got to put every piece together. But to build on them, oh my god, dude, it's, you know, obviously you got to worry about dust. You don't want to spill your soda on it. You don't want your kid near it, or your little kid, sister, brother, you know, they'll fuck it up. So it's whatever. What did Killer say? You make a, wait, yeah, I worked with them to bust a scammer near my city. You did? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, yeah, I've seen some of their stuff, Killer. Wow. Dude, I would have loved to work with someone like Kit Boga or whatever. That'd be awesome. You can make a robot Raspberry Pi and some LMM open source with wheels and made a teacher or toy for kids and all. Yeah, yeah, and that would be like the face, dude. That would be crazy. Yeah, yeah. You can work out with that thing. Yeah, yeah, it's heavy. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so that's the streamer one, and then down here is where I have my this is my my main gaming build. It's in a Lian Li, but even this, I wonder if you can notice. Hopefully I don't pop a breaker. Look, in case I pop a breaker, because I have a lot of computers on right now at the same time, if I turn this one on, it might pop a breaker, and that will be bye-bye to the stream. So if that happens, I hope you all have a good one. Thank you so much for hanging out. If it doesn't happen, I'll be talking a little bit more. But anyway, I'm going to turn this on. So this is a jankified Lian Li Dynamic Evo. This is the DeBauer edition, or one of the DeBauers. I think he has several Lian Lis that have his name on it or whatever. But you'll notice that the 420 AIO is on the top here. So jankified. One water leak in your system, return to Lord. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Imagine that.
Thing looks old school. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even have them matching the fucking colors of the LEDs, because the case fans on the bottom and the back are just some cheap Thermalrights. And then the fans on the AIO and the top here, those are like the medium expense Arctics, you know? And then it's got even more random, the back one here, that's a Lian Li fan, so. Well, this is supposed to be inside. The, like, it's not supposed to be up here. It's supposed to be just a box, you know. You've seen this, so you know. I'm just talking because that's what I do. I ramble. But the glass is supposed to be here, but I took the glass off. So it's almost like an open air case. And then I mounted the 420 AIO on the top. You're not supposed to. It actually goes where these fans are. So this fan is where the AIO should be, theoretically. So, you see? It's got like a mohawk. Okay. Ugh. Well, anyway. What'd you say? I get confident in parts, but get the wiring connections when building it. That's why my friend helped me, but I still didn't get it. Yeah. To me, the worst part of building a PC is the wires. You know, and I understand. I know I've built so many computers that, you know, I have no problem with where the wires go, but I hate wires. So, yeah. But yeah, this one's a i7 7700K with 2 1080 Ti's in it, right? Reference 1080 Ti's. And you know, these are newer, so it's whatever. So, and then there's the stream field and there's the gaming build. And this is what I hate here. This part. You see all that shit? I hate that. And I did it, you know, it's my fault, but I don't like wires. So whatever. Is what it is, huh? Bro, my PC runs faster. Did you upgrade your RAM? No, I added more RGB. Yeah, it's a little bit too much. I was gonna put Razer Synapse to manage all the lighting on this one down here. But I don't really like their software, to be honest. So I do have it because I have a Razer keyboard, and sometimes I use it to change things around, macros or whatever wise. But I haven't set it to manage all the lighting like I should, because it would, I don't know, I kind of like it this way, but it, you know, it does look even more jankified that the lights aren't the same theme, basically. That's fine. But look at this one here, right? This is crazy. This one is doing the stream right now. All the cameras, you know, the encoding, the stream, everything, right? And it's only using total system power 220 watts. Total system power. This one is idling at the desktop, not even logged in, right there, and it's using 400 watts. You know, obviously there's, you know, maybe there's a virus scan happening, maybe a Windows update, maybe Steam started and is downloading a game, whatever, right? But that is a lot of RGB wattage right there. You know what I mean? Like, all those lights add, you know, what, 2 watts each, 5 watts each, depending, maybe, I don't know. Burn up the RGB headers on the fucking motherboard. I even took my time because I was worried of overloading. If if you daisy chain off of like one RGB header, that would probably be a mistake. So I did separate them, like they're in groups of 3 for the different headers at most. Some are less than that, but still. My PC was running hot, so I put it next to my X. Now it's completely frozen. Yeah, she's a cold-hearted bitch, man. Oh man. Oh man, rest in peace, Grandpa. Grandpa would have loved that joke. My grandpa would have loved that joke right there. That's a good one. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to be ending. Sorry, guys. Didn't do much, just rambled. Put the side panels on the PC, started it up a few times. Called it a day. But it was fun. I'm glad that most of the frame drops seem isolated onto only to one side of the stream. So, you know, I don't want any frame drops. So I still hate my ISP for that. But, you know, I'll look on the positive side. At least the VOD I think will be okay, because the VOD side didn't have as many drops at all as the live stream side did. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it. So I'm gonna switch over to the winding it down intermission stream panel. There we go. Imagine that. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out, Killer. Appreciate it, dude. We'll see you. Maybe I'm streaming again tomorrow. I think so. So if you have a free moment, feel free to drop by. Crimson, if you're still out there, thank you so much for dropping by. Sorry you caught me at the end here. But hopefully we'll see you again as well. You know, feel free to chat it up or lurk. Either way, appreciate your visit. Tell your ISP a guy from Nepal who lived in India is cursing you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him that you're my tech support for my business, and they'll have to contact you because I need my internet up and running for my business, right? I need this worked out, and then you just give them the fucking runaround, bro. Just absolute runaround. Like, just have them going all over the fucking place. That'd be great. Waste their time, because all the God knows all the time they've wasted of mine with their bullshit. Because I've called them and tried to fix this. I've had tech people come out from the company. I've had, you know, corporate people and independent people from the company come out, and it never changes. It's always the same thing. So, write me up. I will give you email. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, if I ever get them on the line again, maybe we could pull something off, but I hope I never have to talk to them again. So, I got a couple more things that I will try to see if I can fix my internet woes. A couple things I might be able to do to bypass them, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it was just a bad day. And tomorrow maybe if I start earlier, maybe things will be different. So yeah, you tell them just go see Killer Man. Yeah, Killer Man. Imagine that, like Killer Man has joined the chat. Like how eerie would that be? Like you're just on a tech support chat with a customer as a tech support person, and then it's like the third party joins and it's the name is Killer Man. That would be ridiculous, dude. It'd be like one of those fucking, you know, those horror movies where they play off of the you know, like Facebook chat, whatever kind of a storyline, and like, you know, there's like some random user 78 joined the chat, and it's like, what? Who is that? Like, yo, Joe, is that you? Are you? Come on, Joe, don't be fucking around, man. Don't be playing around, man. So, yeah, that would be good. Well, anyway, I think that's it. I do want to say thank you, you know, to everybody that came by. Thanks for, we got a couple follows out there in the internet world. Appreciate all of that. I hope Tasteful makes some more bank on those fights, man. Because I live vicariously through him. I don't think I'm going to have the gumption to do it myself. Who else? Who else was here? Jaskell, I hope your flight simulator gets working. Killer, I hope you get some rest. Lots of rest, my man. I'm working on that type of project right now. No shit. Okay. All right. You even got some, you probably got some bots and AI stuff ready to go. Okay. Hell yeah. Yeah. Do it to it, killer. Who else? May, if you're out there, take it easy. Ginger, thanks again. We got to give a special shout out to Ginger for letting us use that account for our alerts. I will not stop saying it. One day they're going to rescind that offer and the alerts are going to not be Ginger Duder anymore. It'll be someone else. I'll have to make like a separate account or some shit. But yeah, shout out for that. Thank you. It helps out our botification. Yep. Take care, everybody. We'll catch you next time. Be safe out there in the internet, but also in the real world. Look both ways before you cross the road, kids. All right. We'll see you on the next stream. Ciao for now. God bless everybody. Take care. Hell yeah. See ya, killer. See you, Swiss. Later, Crimson. Yo, Swiss. Thank you for the bits. What the hell, man? Appreciate it. Coming in right at the end, huh? Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Imagine that.